What it do, family? Welcome, 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 welcome. We're going to be talking about the Tale of Two Americas. I've done a broadcast on this once before with the Carl Rittenhouse situation, but let's address it again. You know, we got to keep calling these things out, because if we don't call them out, then they'll go under the radar. And when they go under the radar, then it continues to happen to people like us. So, disclaimer, this is really not about Jonathan Majors. It's really not about him. What it is about is the ability to be a citizen, a human, to be an equal in this country. And our people don't have that right. Our people do not have that right. And the unfortunate thing is that a lot of our folks really don't get it. A lot of our folks is making this situation here about the fact that, hey, you know what happens when you date a white girl? I've heard black women say that. I've even said it, to be honest with you. This is one of the reasons why I will never date a white woman. Not just because of the history, but because literally white tears, white allegations against the black man tends not to go over well for that black man. Hell, black allegations against white men go way smoother than it does when it comes to white allegations against black men. However, like I said, I want to talk about how what we're seeing is the narrative that shapes the narrative. You see, all throughout the case, whether you was following it or not, and I'm studying law, so I followed the case. All throughout the case, there was omission of information. All throughout the case, the mainstream, the lamestream media, they were selectively choosing what they were going to put out into the public. And there was a young lady by the name of Danny Does Law on X, Twitter, whatever. And she was actually in the courtroom for all but one day. So for every day of the trial, she was actually sitting in the courtroom. And she was bringing information out to the public that the lamestream media refused to give to the public, which in turn forced the lamestream media to start reporting on the information that she was already reporting on 3 days before, 4 days before they got to it. If you've never seen such ruthlessness, unless it's against the black man, unless it's against a black man, it doesn't matter who it is. If it's a black dude, oh, they're going to lock you all the way under. They're going to try to defame you to the highest possibility. And this is one of the things that, this is one of the things that we as black people deal with on the daily. And we have all these folks that says, oh, the racism doesn't exist. This case showed you face to face what white tears will do to an innocent person. Now, I'm not going to say that he was innocent of, everything throughout the relationship. I don't know what their relationship was, but when I look at the evidence and look at the video of him being chased down 5 city blocks to get away from this woman, when I look at the video of the police officer speaking to this woman, when I look at the video of how Jonathan Majors made sure to cover this woman up and all this other stuff, when I look at the evidence literally shows this man is innocent. And they used a bunch of text messages and grouped them into a bunch of other situations. They made this man look like he was abusive by telling this woman he didn't want her coming in the house in the middle of the night, bringing people to their house drunk in the middle of the night when he got things to do and he's trying to work. None of these things showed a guilty man. When you listen to the 911 call, which Jonathan Major placed, it showed more concern than anything. Jabari got on the stand herself and said he had never physically abused her. Those were her literal words. That wasn't reported on. That wasn't reported on at all. She literally got on the stand and was asked if he had ever physically abused her, harmed her, and she said he has never physically abused me or harmed me. So what is this situation really about, if not about race? Because it's not about abuse. The abuser, the DA decided not to prosecute. The abuser, the DA told the police, whether you arrest her or not, we're not prosecuting the case. When have you ever saw that? When have you ever saw that? So Jonathan Majors have been released by Disney from his role as Kang the Conqueror. And I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like Disney's shooting himself in the foot, but it's okay. Really don't too much care. Disney has been shooting himself in the foot all year. For the past few years, as a matter of fact. Disney Plus can't get a leg up. They can't get a bailout, and they need one. Billions of dollars gone. But Disney drops Jonathan Majors. But I find it funny that Alec Baldwin could shoot a woman and unalive her on the set, get found not guilty, and then, as a matter of fact, I don't even think he got found not guilty. I think that they didn't pursue the case or something like that. Something happened to where he didn't end up going to jail. But this dude went right back to the film set and started recording again. Alec Baldwin shot a woman on the set and unalived her and was able to go back to work. We have video evidence. Video evidence showing this man running away from this woman for 5 city blocks. Some say through all 5 boroughs of New York. But yet, this is still a problem. He still gets a guilty verdict. Now, granted, he didn't get a guilty verdict on all 4 situations, all 4 counts. The most detrimental count was assault in the 3rd degree, and that was a not guilty verdict on that one. And then the small assault that I guess that he was guilty on, it's all over the mainstream media. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Jonathan Majors guilty. No one's talking about the split verdict. But here's the thing. You don't see this happening to people who actually deserve to have their endorsements taken. You don't see this happening to people who actually in public beat their wives and was caught on video. Do you need a reminder? No problem. Let's get the reminder out. Let me show you the reminder. Give me a hot second. Let me give you the reminder. In case you forgot, that was Dana White, head of the UFC. Beating his wife in Mexico on camera in front of everybody. And I know what some people are going to say. The church. They were in Mexico. There's no jurisdiction in Mexico. They don't have jurisdiction in Mexico. They might not have jurisdiction in Mexico. But you know what? This man didn't lose not one endorsement. This man did not lose his job. This man, literally nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to him. As a matter of fact, let me close this out for a second. Give me a hot second, please. I would like to show you something. When you go, put you here. Give me 1 second, because I want to show you. When you search Dana White beats wife, all right, give me a hot second. All right. So, when you type in Dana White beats wife, Dana White beats wife, and go to news, you literally get nothing. Nothing. 17 days, 18 days, 1 month. You don't see anything about him beating his wife in Mexico, slapping her all up in the club. However, I was able to find one article, not on this. I had to dig to the bowels of hell to find this article here. An article states, this is from LA Magazine. It's not even from the LA Times, the New York Times. No newspaper. It's from a magazine. And it states, Dana White and Ari Emanuel in pro KO after White slaps wife. Excuse me, in PRKO, excuse me. Dana White and Ari Emanuel in PR knockout after White slaps wife. Days after UFC boss Dana White slaps his wife on camera, Endeavor chief Ari Emanuel has said nothing and has done nothing about his client. Well, that's kind of funny because Ari Emanuel have no problem speaking out against black professional ball players, black football players, basketball players. If you black, Ari Emanuel has no problem making sure he speaks up on you and your faults or what he thinks about you. He had no problem coming out messing with Isaiah, and he ain't even do nothing. He has no problem trying to make black folks look anti-Semitic, but he also has no problem being an anti-black racist. But yet, he didn't fire Dana White. The UFC didn't lose any endorsements or anything like that. And this is the point. This is what I'm saying. Too many people believe that there is a equal standing ground when it comes to anything with black and a white America. And there isn't. Whether in the court system, whether in the news, whether it's in policies within government, you do not see it. You do not see an equal standing ground. But a lot of people will have you to believe that there is one. And we constantly have to remind people that it isn't. That it isn't. With that being said, family, go ahead, hit that like button if you ain't hit that like button yet. Go ahead, hit subscribe if you ain't subscribed yet. Share this out. Comment. Let me know what you think about the whole situation with Jonathan Majors and the way that the mainstream, the lamestream media has treated the whole scenario. With that being said, the doors of the church are closed.